Hey listeners, thank you so much for clicking on. I hope you enjoy this new episode of Wrap It Out. And here we appreciate you for supporting us and listening to all our episodes, including this one. So we appreciate you and enjoy the episode. Thank you very much. All right, here we go. The bot's in, and I'm ready. Hey everybody, I'm back. It's Musically. If you guys don't know by my voice or by the show appearance, I'm here, and I'm back recording interviews. So as you guys can tell, I'm wide awake. I'm ready to roll. I'm here with Jerrard, and let me just tell you how excited I am to meet you. Y'all, I personally invited him to be on here for our special season 4, and I couldn't think of a better addition. So to wrap it out, it's such an honor to have you with us.
For sure. I appreciate you for having me. Definitely enjoy just sitting down, having music talk, having interviews, and really just kind of showing people, the life behind the music, the inspiration, and everything. And I'm very honored to be kicking off season 4 too. That's really cool.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, let me just tell you, I didn't even know I was gonna be able to do this. So this is really exciting for all of us, and especially you because I've gotten a chance to listen to a few songs of yours, and let me just tell you, I'm very impressed. You but to be fair, I love all kinds of music, so fair warning, I listen to about 1 billion hours of music every day. I listen to so much music. Listen to so much music. I'm starting to see if I need to buy a Spotify premium account.
Hey, you
But
are we cut from the same cloth. I do the same thing.
yes, sir, I know that's right. All right. Well, let's kick it off. So, one thing that I wanted to kind of talk about. I love talking about projects. I love talking about new stuff. Y'all put out so much damn music. I love it. I kind of wanted to sort of talk about first of all your new single called "Sittin Sideways," which I love it. I've gotten a chance to listen to some of it, and then I had to go back and listen to the full song, which I did. I think a few hours ago. I did. So really cool song. So I kind of wanted to get into that. So what kind of got the single going? What was the whole process behind that?
Um, well, I'm born and raised from Houston, Texas. I've been here my whole life. The only time that I've ever left the city was to like visit somewhere else for a little bit, and then I stayed in LA for about 4 years. But outside of that, I'm Houston through and through. So that was just the old to Paul Wall, which is a Houston great. He has one of, if not the anthem of the city, called Sittin Sideways. And that's just the era that I grew up in. I grew up in the era of Mike Jones, Slim Thug, Swisher House, Rap a Lot, Paul Wall. Like I can go on like forever. Um, and so I just really felt like it was important for me to, let people know where I'm from, let people know about the experiences that I had growing up in the city of Houston. And that's really just how that song came about. The beat was I actually just I've dibbled and dabbled in production throughout my years in making music, but recently I've gotten more intentional with it. And I have a lot of really cool producer friends, so they send me like everything that I need from cool original samples to drum folders and stuff like that. So that was a beat that I made. And yeah, like soon as while I was in the process of making the beat, like the words just kind of came out of me.
Oh, wow. I had I was trying to see like where you were from. I was trying to get like trying to like figure it out from like, your voice. But actually this is super big because I'm also in Houston. Our podcast is based in Houston. So I'm
Oh,
actually
that's
in North
fire.
Park. Yeah, just just wanna just put it out just for everybody because I know people have asked me before. Yes, I'm in Houston, I'm in the north part. So yeah, I'm
Shout out to
actually
the North Side.
moving soon, so yes, sir. Um, I've known this place for forever. Those artists that you listed, I had no idea about. So, and let me just tell you guys, Texas is insane because, but a good insane. Because let me just tell you, when you go to a city, you you thought you left Texas, you did not. Drove up to Missouri City or something. I drove up there, and I left Texas, and I didn't. How the hell can I still be here? Like, someone tell me that. Like, how the hell still be here? Like, it's so gigantic. It's like a city can feel like you left Texas and you didn't. Like, that's insane. Like, even Houston, like, I feel like, I know like the north part of Houston. I know like downtown Houston, like I know like U of H, I know like the museum, the art museum, like I know those. I just like I feel like every day I learn something new about Houston. Like I've lived here like almost all my life and I know nothing. So that is insane. That's insane to think about. So
Nah, I agree. I mean, what you said just reminded me of I wrote a poem many years ago called "Texas Ain't the South," um, and it was really just a ode to like if Texas really wanted to, like on some like, hey, we not rocking with America no more. I feel like Texas is the only state that could potentially. I mean, there may be a couple more, but I feel like Texas is definitely number one as far as like, hey, we finna just break off, and Texas is gonna be its own country now. That's how big it is.
oh yeah, definitely, definitely. I I didn't even know it was the second largest state until I was like a fifth grade and we were learning geography. So I didn't even know it was like that big. And yeah, it could. And Texas has like a whole weird history. I know they have a whole thing with Mexico. Like it's a really crazy history. But yeah, we could really be by ourselves, somewhere. And it's crazy to really think about because anything can happen in the future. So just gonna be like, fuck this shit. I'm not doing this no more. Like maybe we
That's
could just be on
true.
our own,
That's
but
super true.
like they could say like fuck the US and just go about, which hey, I wouldn't blame them. Like the US has is like I've been to New York and Pennsylvania and Florida and Louisiana, where I'm from, um, and all over, and it's crazy about the US. Like so weird to think about. So I wouldn't blame
Yeah.
Texas. I mean, we have California on the ring of fire, so any shit can happen.
Nah, facts. Look, don't get me started on the US because this will turn from a music interview into a politics interview. But I feel you 1,000%. And then shout out to you for being from Louisiana. That means that we are country cousins.
Please. And hey, I only spent 2 years in LA, but I like that. I like that. But hey, I wouldn't mind a political interview. I wouldn't mind it. We can have both. Like we can have two things exist. People say two things can't exist, but fuck that shit. Two, three, 1,000 things can't exist all at once.
That's the society we live in.
Don't get me started on society. My other interview, we were just talking about the Billboard charts. We were just talking about the status of music. And I had a million I had like a million things to say because I'm always on top of news, music news. I mean, just a few days ago I heard about Bia and Cardi. I was like, crazy to imagine. That's what we're doing
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the Drake and Kendrick beef just kind of inspired this new wave of like I'm just finna start directly sending shots. Um and I think in regards to Bia and Cardi, um it's always a vantage point or a perspective where people say that it's a good look to beef with a major artist because on the chances that that artist responds to you, you're getting exposure. You're gonna get all kinds of exposure. You're gonna get negative exposure. People gonna hate on you, but then there are gonna be some people who actually might become a new fan of you and check out your music and stuff. So I definitely think in Bia's instance, she was incentivized a lot to beef with Cardi, even if the beef there I think according to Cardi, there's no real beef. It's just a matter of Bia doesn't really care for Cardi too much, and she let that be known on record.
which is totally understandable. And yeah, like in the beginning when I heard about it through verse, through a song that she did with Wannabe, where she mentions Bia, which I was like, kind of weird because that's not Cardi's song. She just hopped on a remix. That's not even her song, and she mentioned Bia. But then again, people are obsessing about Eminem's new song and him putting out Meg, and apparently now, like, people think he's being rude to her. Like, this is the society we live in. It's my
Yeah,
mansion.
those people don't know Eminem, and I think with the whole new song and the video, I don't think that they're really drawing a connection, probably because a lot of people weren't here for that when he first came out in the early 2000s. And that's just his style, bro. It's like he's kind of like a Dave Chappelle in that way. Like, don't take anything that I say seriously. Like, this is all just an art form, and like this is pretty much it. Like, I'm gonna say the most outlandish things that people won't normally say. And words do matter, but to a certain extent, like after a certain point, it's literally just words, bro.
Like, that was the thing. Like, when I was looking back on like posts people made, I was like thinking like they don't even have beef, to be honest. Like, they don't have beef. Like, they could probably make a good song together, and I've never heard of them having beef, so they don't have any. It's just, again, people make small things into bigger things. That's what I've noticed about, like music and then the public. Like, people by one little thing that someone says, they take things out of context. They go into past. They use past shit to build context and arguments and things they say. It's so weird that people depend so much on the past to like dictate and to support arguments of the present and the future. Like, it's very much and then again, like, they're petty, and again, like, people don't know anything. Just copy off based on news, which is not 100% accurate because you gotta take it from the real person. And then news love to spread, like, news love to like stretch the truth. So You know, it's very funny, but it's also very insane, in that kind of sense. Like, this is what our world has gone to. So, pretty interesting.
Nah, definitely. That's a side effect of the internet and everything being recorded forever to be researched and looked back on. Um, I think it was that way in the past before the internet. People would use newspaper articles and stuff like that, but that required a lot more research and a lot more digging. Whereas with the internet, all you gotta do is just Google something or hop on Twitter and type in the search bar, and you could find whatever you need in a matter of minutes. Um, and people are gonna use that.
Right, right. It just it's just insane to me 'cause I didn't grow up on the internet. Like, you know, I grew up on like MP3 players. I grew up on um um like Ice Cube. I grew up on that. Like, this modern stuff. I didn't even know modern stuff existed till I was in elementary school. When I was in like third, fourth grade. Like, that's when I started to like find out things that were modern. And then even so, I still listen to like older music. Nowadays the older stuff hits forever. Those are the only things that will be iconic forever. think that's for me.
No, I agree. I think, I'm very similar in that way in the sense that I'm a millennial, so I grew up watching the process. I got to live through the transition of us entering this technological era. And I think thinking about it now, one of the side effects of being able to have access to everybody's opinions, everybody's thoughts in real time is that yours um gets lost in the fray, or it gets influenced by what everybody else was saying. Whereas before we had the internet, and you can go online and see what hundreds of thousands of people are thinking on a daily basis, you had more of a isolated worldview that showed up in your music. And I think because your worldview was more unique, it was more catered to your experiences, your upbringing, where you were from, that made the music more timeless, because you're hearing perspectives, ideas, and opinions from people who haven't been informed by the masses.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I was just saying this in the other interview, like I was saying that you can really tell people who listen to music for a long time. You can tell when timeless because like their focus was developing as an artist, as also as a person. Like I don't know if you've ever done this, but I've actually even cover art, and I've actually seen an entire artist's discography. As you see the discography, as you see the different album titles, you can clearly see each album are shaping a person, kind of like shaping the artist in a way to where if you listen to the entire discography in one sitting, you've learned about that person. If you can do that and see the person, you can really tell you've done something. If you listen to someone's discography and you're having to wonder, who the hell are they? What did I listen to? Is this all they have to say? Couldn't they say more? You should really question what you're doing with your career life. That's just I
I feel like the introduction to this interview is in it's motivating me to think that we're gonna agree on a lot, because I feel you. I was literally having this thought process today as far as music, and how um there's still a number of artists out there that are putting like emotions and real feelings and experiences and substance into their music. So I want to make sure that I let that be known, that there's still people out there doing that, but there seems to be more people who are just talking about things that they know will be popular, that they know will get attention. It doesn't necessarily have to be something that they lived or been through. It's just all about regurgitating the same message that they've studied the industry and see, hey, this works. And like you said, you can easily listen to an artist's music and see whether or not, okay, this is a surface level artist. They're just going to talk about things that they like, things that they think are interesting and that will grasp people attention, versus artists who are like, I'm going to talk about what I like, I'm going to talk about things that grab people's attention, but I'm also going to talk about things that I feel, things that I've been through. You're going to get the whole gauntlet. It's not just going to be one dimensional.
absolutely. And generally, you know, people think they know the industry. You know, like, do they really know? Really that aware because the Billboard charts. You're listening to these suck. You listen to these suck ass songs with dumb ass people. I mean, so I'm starting to wonder: do you really know industry? Do you really know? Or are you just saying you know? But you know. That's people, and people have such weird taste. I mean, how are you a Swiftie? She's not even like that. But I
I can't
digress.
speak for Taylor Swift. I'm not a Swiftie. I've had a couple of songs that I liked, but yeah, I agree. You know, I think they're just going with what they believe is it's a shortcut. Um, they just go what they believe is a shortcut because for a lot of people, it's not about the art form. It's more so just about monetary success.
Right, right. And I think even just for new artists, when you're considering a career in music, you have to think selling. You got to think about the two. In a sense of just sell on people the sense who you are as a person, as being because the thing is not that different from actual people. You gotta remember these artists that you're listening to that you worship to, these are people just like you, with feelings, with a heart, who's dealing with some heavy ass shit just like all of us. And I feel like you would connect more with the artist on a deeper level if they just open themselves up to you instead of focusing only on money, which money is already a damn problem because of inflation. So, if it was me, if I was an artist, I would wanna I would wanna choose authenticity, even if it wasn't selling, even if I wasn't like a huge hit or the Billboard charts, at least I can have the sense of fulfillment that I gave you me, that I gave you, me as a person, that I've let you see into my life, into me, and we can connect. So at least that's for me. I don't know how people are, but that's what I would choose. As far as like, and that's something to really think about. Like, you really should think about the authenticity again, authenticity, or do you want to sell?
Yep. I mean, I'm a very black and white person, so I feel you. I think it's me and my homies, we have a saying amongst ourselves that authenticity is required. So
Mhm.
I'll just leave it at that.
Come on, come on. This guy rocks, right, y'all? Like that freaking rocks. Hey, like I love that quote. Authenticity required. I fuck with that. Authenticity is required. Like that's the only way you're gonna see somebody is if they're really authentic and you can really see them. So yes, sir, absolutely. But since we're gushing about artists and talking about them, let's get back to you, the actual artist. Um, since it's my fault, I let time pass. So my bad. Um, actually get into your success because you're just as successful as them. Um, again, very excited for the single. Now let's talk about the album that you out. Here's what I've been doing. Now, the thing that I respect about you is authenticity. So when I saw this album title, here's what I've been doing. I'm like, wait a minute, what's going on here? And then when I saw the track list, I didn't have a chance to listen to all the songs. I didn't have a chance. Fair warning, I didn't have a chance to listen to all the songs because I've had a million things to do today and yesterday. So I will later. But I listened to like the samples when you play a Spotify song. They give you like the sample to listen to, and very solid album. So I kind of wanted to get into exactly this album. Like what was the process to this album? What's the whole thing behind this entire album?
For me, so prior to me going by the artist name Gerard, I went by, which is my middle name. And there's reasoning behind that. But I went by my first and last name, which was Danny Watts. Um, and I had a pretty nice run under that artist name. I got to go on a national tour with the artist out of LA called John Wayne. And I released the album under he had a label at the time and I released my debut album under him. Um, and that was an experience, but it was an experience that, in retrospect, I'll say I wasn't completely ready for in all facets. So after that album came out, I'm living on the highest of highs. Like, just came off a national tour. My album is making it to like national publications. This was in 2017. Um, and I'm thinking like, okay, this is like the actual start of my career. I had the most money I've ever seen in my life in my bank account, all from just me putting my art out into the world. So I'm like, okay, this is it. And then the tour ended, and you realize that it's harder to get there. It's harder to keep it than it is to get there. So real life hit. I had to just take a step back from music and actually like deal with like family circumstances, maintaining a job and all those different things that just comes with this life that we live. And so I took a long hiatus. I'm talking about one of those like Kendrick Lamar hiatuses, that is generally discouraged these days, from an artist perspective. And I didn't put out a body of work until I dropped Here's What I've Been Doing earlier this year. Um, and I named it Here's What I've Been Doing just because it, it was a name change. It had been a minute since I dropped the project. And I just kind of wanted to give people an update. This is a project where I felt like this was this project had my DNA all over it, from the production to the not only the writing, the song choices, um, but intentionally just crafting myself to be a better artist, because when I did the album under Danny Watts, I just felt like a rapper. Um, I I didn't. It was literally it's an album called Black Boy Meets World. I wrote that album in 6 days because that's all I had. If I didn't make it in that 6 day time period, then I wouldn't have gone on that tour. I wouldn't have experienced the success that I had. So it was a lot of other people's hands in the pot. Um, they were making all of the beats. They did all of the mixing and mastering. They did all of the promotion for it. They pretty much guided the whole process. But for this album, I say I was very more hands-on. I felt more refined as an artist. I felt like I was being more intentional, with the topics that I chose to talk about, the production that I chose to rap over, and just how I chose to deliver the message outside of just rapping it. I tried to use my voice in different ways. And so yeah, I just wanted to give people an update and be like, hey, I know I'm Gerard now. Here's what I've been doing.
Okay, that is first of all, that's clever. First of all, the title is really clever. But then also, like, as you were, as you were saying all that to me, I was thinking like, wow, like you've definitely been through a lot. This album has truly shaped your identity, but then also like you've gotten a chance to be in the director's seat. You got to have the name Gerard. You got to have this artist identity of some sorts, and this album has really shaped you. Which let me just tell you, I applaud that for real because as I as I was, looking through the album, the track list, and then using as a person, you've truly developed, and you're on the track for good development as far as music wise, but also as person wise. This is a good place to start. This is a great place to start. You getting a chance to show people, exactly like here's what I've been doing. Like this is who I am. So not only does the name fit, but the message fits, and it's so relatable to so many people. To that's immensely impressive. It's incredible. So
I
I mean,
appreciate it. My bad. I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
no, no, no. Go ahead.
No, I was just finna say, yeah, just piggybacking off of what you said, this album, Here's What I've Been Doing, was definitely a landmark for me as far as like my own artistic development. Like I said prior, I took the hiatus because I knew like I was proud of the work that I put into Black Boy Meets World. I'll never change that. But at the same time, it's all about improving and enhancing. And I can listen back to that album and see um that I needed like a lot of improvement. And I didn't have a team. I didn't have somebody here saying helping me find the right producers to work with, helping me define my sound. I didn't have an A&R out here looking for other artists or producers for me to work with. These are just here's what I've been doing. It's purely off of my own influence, chasing sounds that I like, reaching out to producers that I wanted to connect with and work with, and really just building everything from the ground up. And just trusting my own ear, getting insight and feedback from those around me. But there was nobody above me saying like we should go with these songs or you should do this instead. This is all just off of my own intuition. And I'm happy with the final result. I'm happy with the product. I'm immensely proud to have Here's What I've Been Doing out there, because I feel like it's the beginning of just letting people know my pedigree as far as like what I bring to music, not just being a rapper or being a vocal artist.
Yes, absolutely. And hey, it is definitely, I understand that, definitely, you know, it makes sense that you had to take a break to really figure this out. And I appreciate you a lot for it. That's a big risk with the hiatus because you never know what's going to happen as far as like with everything, with anything when you're taking a break from what you normally have done. It's a huge risk and you took it anyway. And you took a chance with this new identity, with this, with taking a chance on the album, with putting out these singles, and with this, with all this going on, you took a risk, and that is incredible to see because people don't take risks. They only do the basics. But, you know, the only way to live life is to take a risk. So you got a life just by, you know, taking that risk. That's huge. Like that's very huge.
Yeah, I appreciate it. It's self-taught it. I'll pat myself on the back, but I will proclaim myself to be a risk taker. Um, that music is my life. It was the reason why I went to LA in 2019. Literally leap of faith style. I had a few $100 to my name, packed up my stuff, and said, "Hey, I'm going to LA." And literally the next year, the whole world shut down. Um, but it was all about the risk for me. Like, we grow up knowing that LA is like the music capital of the world. Um, and I just felt like that was purposeful for my artistic journey for me to go out there and like just see if I can hold up, see if I can grow. And it was a shell shock for sure.
So I can imagine Netflix would love you because, moving to California and then like during COVID, Netflix would love this guy. Like you would be good for like a TV show, FYI. But um
At Netflix, you heard it here first.
hey, they need more black shows anyway. So just another FYI, Netflix, you need to blacken up the network. Um, I can't believe I said that. um, but yeah, definitely understandable. You are a risk taker. risk taker classifieds. Um, that's amazing, and I keep using boards like that, so I'm gonna relax myself and so much to get into, but very much so. I love risk takers. I love people who, are going out there for themselves, and I applaud you for that again. So let's see. You post a lot. I've noticed. When I was looking through, you do post a lot. Um, and pretty consistent releases. So I just kind of want to know what got you really into, the more increased use of social media and the more, constant releases.
Well, first and foremost, I appreciate you for saying that because historically, um, I've been told that I don't post enough. Um, so I think just through those conversations, like when I moved out to LA, I was very fortunate to build a community of artists and creators out there, and also people who just work in the industry. Um, I had the I had the fortunate capability of being able to sit down in these rooms with like studios and record labels and management teams and get this insight and this feedback and have these conversations about what I could do to improve my approach to releasing music in this new climate. Because during my hiatus, a lot of things changed. Post COVID music releasing is so different. Um, and the number one consensus was, bro, you need to post more. You don't post enough. So anybody that would possibly be interested in coming on board with you, they aren't going to see you having a lot of initiative. Like, yeah, your music is great, but where's the initiative as far as the other facets of being an artist? So I definitely took that, and for me, it was always about, you know, I don't knock anyone that just wants to like prop their phone up and record a video real quick just to have for socials, just to be consistent. But that's not what I naturally gravitate to. Like, I want to be intentional with the visuals that I put out, just because I'm very intentional with the music that I make. Um, However, that's always been a battle because from a financial perspective, um, I don't have the means to like pay for a team or pay for videographers, pay for photographers and stuff like that. And um, there are a bunch of my artist friends who have people who, want to work with them, um, and helping seeing their vision come to life. They just want to have their name attached to it because they believe in the success or the potential success of the artist. And I think for me, the way my ecosystem was set up, I more so had producers um that would want to hop on board with me and work with me and get the music right. But from like a visual perspective, I would often have conversations with people, um, but it would just be that. It would just be conversations. It wouldn't lead to like actual art being made, actual visuals or anything like that. So I think I just got to a point where I got really tired of people telling me you need to drop more music. So I just took it upon myself, really just tapping into like some of my favorite hip hop influences like Wayne, Future, Lupe Fiasco, just kind of that early 2000s, early 2010s era where it was just about mixtapes, putting out as much music as you can and just having like a crazy run where you're gonna flood the market. So I think I've been adopting that mentality lately of trying to release a song every week, if I can, which I have the catalog to do. It's just more so motivation to want to do it um while you watch, hopefully while you're watching like your star rise. But yeah, that's literally it. Just knowing that I have a whole catalog of music. I make anywhere from like 5 to 6 songs a week. Um, and I have enough music to where I can set stuff aside and have like 3 or 4 albums ready to go whenever I want. But then I also have enough music to where, hey, let me just drop a song a week. So that's where my focus has been lately. It's just being consistent, consistently dropping. Maybe one of these songs go off and it'll give me exposure to a new fan base, and then they can go check everything else out. And then also adopting the mindset that like nothing is too old. I mean, Juvenile just dropped a music video for a song this year that he put out over 20 years ago. Um, so yeah, I've just been giving myself a chance with being more consistent with dropping more music because I believe that's I believe that's the most important thing, is to have the music out there and then worry about everything else afterwards.
Absolutely, yes, yes. And I really funny that people said you didn't post enough because that's the same thing they said about me. Like, no more interviews out. Okay. But definitely, I love the push. 'Cause I was looking through Instagram and I was like, as I was looking through the different posts, I was like, he posts like a lot of music, like constantly, consistently. I was like, um, because people who do that usually are about to retire, and I was like, wait a minute, he's too young to retire. Like, wait a minute, what's going on here? Um, but what you said makes sense. Just a push for having more, you know, yeah, more, showing people that you're, still here, that you're still putting stuff out and posting more. I appreciate it. Um, I found you, which obviously means you're doing something. That's good. Um, so now kind of want to just see because you put out the single, you put out the album. Now I just kind of wanted to just see what is life looking for you now, because we're in June, so we are literally halfway through the year. Like, it's crazy to imagine halfway through the year. So I kind of wanted to see who knew. What does the rest of the year look like for you?
Um, the rest of the year for me, um, is just focusing on showing people all of what I can do. Um, I think in my journey of developing myself as an artist, I've branched into using my voice in different ways and figuring out my own sound outside of just rapping. So I have songs where I'm like singing, I have like love songs, um, really exploring that aspect of how I feel and, just navigating relationships and things of that nature. So I definitely want to like branch out and show that aspect of my artistry. And also, I'm being real intentional about setting up an ecosystem of, starting my own label and finding people who are really down for helping me craft like the visual identity that I want to make. Um, so yeah, it's just been the beginning of this year has been um just focused on getting the music organized and everything like that. And then now I'm working behind the scenes, just trying to, build my team, send the music out, share it with people, see if there's interest. Um, but yeah, definitely you're gonna get a lot more Gerard music of different styles, not just rap. I have a little like alternative R&B, soul, neo soul, little bit of more just kind of like upbeat, up tempo songs. So yeah, like it's definitely finna to me when it became 2024, I said this is my Kobe year. Like mama mentality through and through. Um, so I'm just gonna keep shooting, putting up shots in the gym.
Ah, I love that quote. I love it. That hit hard for me too. And very great goals, especially part about a label. I'm very excited for you. I want to hear everything about the label, and I can't tell me anything about it yet because just in the beginning. But when you do get it settled, I hope I'm one of the first people you tell because getting a label is a huge deal. So you know, I'm excited for you.
Not for sure. I appreciate it. I'll definitely give you a little sneak peek. So the name of the brand that I'm starting is called Everything We Do Is Art. Um and it was really just based off the inspiration of God. And I watched a movie. I can't remember the name of the movie, but I know it was on Netflix. And it had ASAP Rocky in it. And it was about this kid who was like taking up videography or photography. Um, and there was a scene in the movie where ASAP Rocky's character was walking the kid around the neighborhood, just showing them like everyday things that we see. Um, like a old man sitting at a bus stop, two guys from the hood just dapping each other up. A Asian lady that was the owner of a laundry, a washateria, and the guy, the kid, literally explained it as that, like, yeah, it's just an old dude at a bus stop. But ASAP Rocky's character was just like, no, bro, like, there's more to it than that. Like, these people have stories. Um, like that guy, that those two guys that just dabbed each other up, that was a drug deal just happened right in front of our eyes. The old man that's sitting on the bus stop is actually the lookout for like if there's any cops or anything that may be coming their way, he gonna signal to them. The lady at the washateria that owns is just a front. That's just a way she's helping them clean the money. Um, and it just that inspired me to show that like literally everything around us is art. You can pull influence from anything. You can turn any everyday mundane activity into a art piece. Um, so that really gravitated with me, and so I started a brand called Everything We Do Is Art. And just because, like I said, I've intentionally developed myself, which I think is like the natural progression of an artist, um, is to just pay that forward. So I work with a lot of other artists. When I lived in LA, I became known as like um a A&R in my own right, just because I knew which producers were doing cool things and they should work with this artist. I was able to connect dots. So I definitely want to do that for other people as well, not just for myself.
Definitely, yeah. And I really truly love the effort to be more inclusive and also the name. I love it. I really love the name. It's very unique and real, and you're gonna. I just see such good things for you. Every time I hear something new, I'm just like, I'm grinning because I'm like, oh my god, like it's so exciting. Like I'm really, really happy for you. And labels. I've seen people start labels. It could be good or bad, but I know it's gonna be good because we agree on a lot of things, and you're real and you know it. So, you're not gonna be like all these whack ass labels. um, but I'm very excited for you, and then also you have such a great passion for including other people. And I got nothing but props for you. So.
Hey, I appreciate it. I'm glad that I'm glad that the integrity shows through, and I'm glad that just by me being myself and following the influences that God gives me and tapping into the right things that when I share these ideas, um, that is positively affirmed. So I appreciate you for saying that.
Oh, absolutely, and you deserve it. You deserve it. And because you're on the label and because we've seen so much of your life, I kind of want to just ask, as far as what's been happening with your career so far, when you tell somebody about your music career, what are the pros and cons you would say to having a music career? Like, what's the highs and lows of being in this evolving music?
I would say that there's definitely a balance between um so I coined this term. I like to call what I do music friendsness versus the music business. Um, I think that figuring out what your lane is definitely a confusing thing for an artist because um the perceived notion of success for an artist is through the business side of things. You have to attach yourself to labels and brands in order to be successful, and it's through a very small lens. Like, if you're not making six figures or millions of dollars off of music, then were you really successful? And figuring out what type of success you want to have is definitely a task. Um, you deal with people who only associate themselves with you because of your perceived value or how they perceive you're going to be successful. But if that doesn't pan out in the time period that they wanted to pan out, then those people will fall by the wayside. So that's definitely a difficult thing to deal with, um, because there are a lot of people in this industry who just want to use you based off of the access that you have. If you have access to things that they don't have, then they're gonna play nice while you have that access. But then when you don't, those phone calls stop coming or they stop being answered. That support is no longer there. But the highs to it is that once you understand that you don't have to go through these traditional avenues in order to create a career for yourself because of the internet, and because there's always a place for like good music and good people who resonate with people. um you can you can craft a career. Like when I went on tour, um that was just a matter of me making music, posting it on SoundCloud, and then a guy finding my music and being like, "Hey, I'm starting a label, and I potentially want you to be the artist." And me being a risk taker, I was out in LA 2 weeks later to see that opportunity through. Whereas other artists were like, "Hey, bro, can you just email me some beats? Is there any way you can come out here? I don't know when I can get to LA." Um, but because of me seizing that opportunity, like I said earlier, I was able to, from a financial success standpoint, I was able to make more money than I've ever made from a job, let alone a job, but in my music career. So just knowing that good music will always rise to the top. Um, what's meant for you is meant for you. You just got to put yourself out there and just commit to the process. That's definitely a high for me, and that's something that keeps me motivated and keeps me going. Is just knowing that I make good music, I'm a good person, I have nothing but good intentions in my heart, and I know that that will always shine through.
Mhm. You should be a motivational speaker. That hit me. Um,
I appreciate that.
like, wow, actually, like, I'm gonna take a minute. Minute. Okay. Well, I appreciate the insight, and this is incredible just to see this, and obviously you were raised right because so mature and much so much insight. Like, yeah, mom did good.
I was just gonna say shout out to my mom. She the one who gave me my middle name, and that's the reason why I go by Gerard today.
Look at you, mom. Congrats. No, that's right. And I just wanted to just say lost my words. Blah. I just thank you for agreeing to show up on my show. I appreciate you for taking the time out to come here and tell us your story. And this is really, really amazing to see what you're doing. I mean, you're not only showing people who you are, but you're making really great art. And success is only gonna get bigger from here. So, I hope you ready for all the more success that's coming your way. So, I just want to say again, thank you so much. Bottom of my heart for coming to my season 4 and even you're going to do this. I appreciate you.
No problem. Again, thank you for having me. Thank you for blessing me with the honor of opening up season 4. I wish you many more seasons, first and foremost. Um, And yeah, I'm excited, man. I definitely feel like success is on my way. Everything is done with a purpose. I've come to realize in life. The space that I took away was not only time for me to develop myself as an artist, but for me to develop myself and my spirit, my mentality for the success that I truly believe is to come. And you do have to be prepared for that because um, you're going to be exposed to so many different opinions, perspectives, ratings, just the whole gauntlet that comes with success, and you definitely have to like be prepared. And I'm just happy that I know that I'm solidified in who I am as an artist, who I am as a person, what I bring to the table, and no matter what anybody has to say about the art that I put out into the world, I know that it has a place. So yeah, again, like I said, just to end it off, my statements off. I appreciate you for having me. I'm happy that you found my music and felt compelled enough to invite me here today for an interview.
Oh, how sweet. Oh my God, this guy is sweet too. This is so sweet. All right, ladies, go into the market. This guy's for you. All right. All right, but seriously, jokes aside, thank you listeners out there for listening. You can find Gerard's music down below in the link provided and all over social media, which I will be posting. Um, so make sure you guys listen to Sittin Sideways. The song is again really amazing. Um, and also his new album. Here's what been doing. Um, I cannot talk straight. Um, is out now, so definitely lots of music to look into. Make sure you're keeping up to date with his Instagram as he is putting out lots of music for all of you, for all of us. So definitely, it is definitely worth the listen. I appreciate you all for listening, and you know, and this is really cool getting a chance to kick off our season 4. Um, and what better than a native from Houston, where I am. So
H time.
that hits even, that hits even better. um, So, all of you know I love to showcase music. So, right after this plays, you all will get a chance to hear 2 incredible songs. Jerrard was very gracious enough to, allow us to play these songs. So y'all get a chance to see him in action in his own field. So definitely get excited for that. I appreciate you all listening in. Thoughts on the way. And again, thank you so much. And see you guys on the next one. And trust me, there is. So peace out. Bye, y'all. Hello, everybody. Thank you guys so much for joining us tonight as we dove into a wonderful podcast episode. Now, in this following segment, you will get a chance to hear this artist's showcase because every artist that comes on the show requires to do a showcase. So buckle up, get some popcorn, and enjoy the showcase. I hope you guys love it, and check out the artist when you get a chance to. Hope you guys love it. Enjoy.
And you know we bang screw. And you know we bang screw.
I'm sitting sideways, boys in the days. Put that on my hood, I'm as real as they came. And you know I'm screwed up, always out the frame. Swerving out my lane, yeah, please give me space. Cause I'm sitting sideways, boys in the days. Put that on my city, I got miles chopping blades. You know I had to pimp shit, see it on exhibit. Yeah, I'm finna loop shit, gripping wood grain. I could've been worse off, on the block I surfed off. Thank God I ain't cursed my time, I could've been murked off. Some nights like the shots rang out, somebody gotta answer that call. On me, almost answered the phone, I heard that ring, my soul got called. My life is a little bit wayward, seen things that scarred me and made me on edge, a little bit jaded. Niggas on board, the block gon' make ya. Pack heat like the middle of May, yeah. I'm tryna run shit like the mayor, I'm tryna be HOV, stay in my lane, on grind like skaters. No matter what the odds, I'm gon' hit. Show talk, I'm just like Conan. BS, I'm teed, I'm zoned in. See through it like all these omens. I guess that mean I'm chosen. To receive, I'm wide, I'm open. On God, I could've made worse of plays. I was sitting sideways, boys in the days. Put that on my hood, I'm as real as they came. No, I know I'm screwed up, always out the frame. Swerving out my lane, yeah, please give me space. Cause I'm sitting sideways, boys in the days. Put that on my city, I got miles chopping blades. No, I had to pimp shit, see it on exhibit. Yeah, I'm finna loop shit, gripping wood grain.
And you know we bang screw. And you know we bang screw.
I want a better end, better love, better life. Will this get better or it's better just to gamble life? Don't know no better, but better be ready or I might become a better that's too addicted with selfish life. I say I'm better than most, but looking through whose eyes? Feel like I'm better when winning, clearly not in my eyes. Wish I had better role, better plays to dice. I play supporting cast, knowing that the lead is mine. When I take it, I get better each and every time. What's better than living with love within, against my better nature, I keep letting fear run. It get the better of me every time I feel something. For better or worse, I'm fine that I won't budge. If I knew better, I'd do better. I'm living in the proof that it's true that I grew better. These days I'm letting loose letters. Hope to flip the L's over to a cool 7. If I knew better, then I'd do better. If I knew better, then I'd do better. If I knew better, then I'd do. If I knew better, then I'd do better. If I knew better, then I'd do better. If I knew better, then I'd do.